one thing, that was a heck of an atmosphere. What a great night just for college football in general. That Florida State game and Doak Campbell and the chop going. I mean, that was a tremendous atmosphere. Thanks to our fans and support and the way they backed us in the game. But in the typical Florida State game, very hard fought. Hats off, they're a very good team. They're a very good defensive football team. They can run the football. They got playmakers at receiver. Did a really nice job. Our kids played really well. Got a good start, good fast start. We were able to run the football. That's hard to do. Again, ran for 249 yards on the night, and made some great runs. Quarterback was able to make some runs. Made big plays in the passing game. We had to. We were really good on third down. 11 of 17 on the night on third down, which was really big. Red zone, we're 3 of 3. Unfortunately, we had a field goal or so in there, but and had got a couple other chances that we could have scored some points, and we just didn't get it done. But in those games like that, when you're playing those teams, they do a good job. And but very hats off. Our defense was outstanding. They were outstanding on that. Played the run really well. 6 sacks. The pressures, contesting every throw. There was no easy plays for them. We had a turnover. We accidentally, we put the ball on the ground on the punt, which was, we can't do that. That we had a 3-score lead and could have started putting the game away and let them back in it. And very proud we come down and scored again. And Deondre had a very bad decision there in the third quarter that had a misread on a play and laid it up. But other than that, what I was happy about, he had 2 tough series right there, and then he came back and hit the big throw for a touchdown. Then he came back and had to run for a touchdown, and he led us and made plays and scrambled and kept his poise. And for a young player, and the magnitude of that game against Florida and a game like that, to keep your poise, be able to come back after getting flustered or making a couple mistakes, that's hard. You have no idea, quarterback, how hard that is to do. And sometimes in that game that's going fast and you make a mistake, to be able to slow it back down and go do that. That was unbelievably mature by him, and very happy with him and his development and where he's coming to. And there's that little guy, number 4. Wow. Tell you what, you're blessed to coach certain guys in your career, and he's one of them. I mean, he is, I can't say enough about him. And like I say, we see the player and the toughness and all that, but man, the selflessness, the leadership, him on the sideline, the encouragement, the way he was at halftime with our guys, and I mean, man, what a daggone football player. What a daggone football player. I mean, it's about the only way I don't know what else to say about him. I mean, he was outstanding. And another 153-yard night. And Travis was big, all those guys, and just proud of them. And get ready to go and see when we go play a bowl game. Question?
After some of the struggles early this year, how gratifying is it to see the way you guys are feeling?
I'm going to tell you something. I said this team, I think this team, the way it's improved, and everybody said, well, what's it got to play for? It's got each other to play for. It's got its pride to play for. It's got to be better to play for. It's got the seniors' legacy of what they're leaving. The young underclassmen of what they got in front of them and knowing how to work and how to play and understand how to play in these games and play well and the groundwork they've laid for the future of what they can do. And I told him I'm as proud of this team as any team I ever won national championships, and I've won it all in 29 years. This team makes me as proud as any I've been around for how it's persevered. And the seniors kept leading. Everybody said what we had to play for, and goals kept going away. But they played their tails off.
Jimbo, they 0 for 12 on that third down.
Yeah, and they were 0 for 12 on third down, which is amazing. They had 2 fourth downs they converted, and the big fourth down we got to stop in the first of the game was huge. Then we were able to move the football right back. Even though we missed the field goal, we changed the field position back and got that. And then to go 0 for 12 on third down, man, that was unbelievable by our defense.
Jimbo, when your offense is shaky like that, I mean, how important is it to have a defense that can
was
really
good.
control everything? And
but I'm going to say this, and I don't say that's what you said. I don't think we were shaky. You're talking about a team that was giving up. That was the number 5 team in the country in defense. We ran the ball for 250 yards and put up 30 points. And we hit 2 field goals. We put up almost 40. And what we did. So, I mean, our defense, when you're a great team, you got to be great on defense when you're great. And they set a tone, and that's the way they did it. And we were able to control the clock and run the football and pick up third downs and played situational football. Good in the red zone, good in third down, and won those battles.
How fitting is it for a guy like DeMarcus to have the performance he did in his final home game?
I'm sorry?
How fitting is it for a guy like DeMarcus to have this kind of performance in his final home game?
He has it in every game. What's he end up with, 15 sacks? Or something like that now on the year? And I think Burns had 1.5. He's at 9.5. But, those seniors, I mean, to never have lost to Miami, never have lost them, that's never happened in this school history. Think about that. All the great players ever sat in those chairs right there in front of you. To be able to achieve what they achieved and never lose to Miami and never lose to Florida. That's something they can always take with them, and that's what you play for. That's what it's about, and the legacy they leave and what it means. And I'm going to tell you, those are great football teams. I'm not saying that to brag about playing against Miami. We just know they're important games and the rivalry games, and those are great programs because that's how hard it is to do. And my hat's off to him. But DeMarcus, man, what a leader and what a player he is. Golly.
Coach, talk about that.
All their seniors. I mean, you go back to Marquez, and I mean all of them. Good.
I was saying, you talk about Dalvin and how blessed you are to coach him. What was it like for you as a coach to hear the crowd, this huge crowd, just chanting his name toward the end of the game, showing their love for him?
I couldn't hear it. I was coaching the game, but I'm glad they did. I'm glad. I hope he did, because I think people. I mean, you know when you're around special people in your life, and he's definitely one of them. And there's no one deserves it more than him.
It seemed like the offensive line pass protection was really good.
Had no sacks. We passed. We got the ball out of our hand. Made good decisions. Ran the football. They're just keep getting better and better and better.
Can you talk about the kicker situation and the change of?
Well, he actually, the first time when he kicked, he actually caught his foot on the ground and he hurt his foot. And he missed. That's what happened when the first one was low and White was blocked. Then he come back, the second was bothering him, and he just didn't get it up. And his foot was bothering him. And he just wasn't in a good rhythm, and that's why you have two kickers. So we were able to put Logan in the game and to flip him in. He was going to kick the second half. I just wanted, because he just lost rhythm. And
moving forward, will it be two kickers or?
no, just like we always do. We'll go back to what we're doing. We'll go back to the normal thing. And if they keep getting better, whoever's kicking the best will kick.
Coach, speak about the defense during the past 3 games after you guys played NC State. You guys are just giving up 11 points a game, only 64 yards per game rushing. Just talk about how the defense has really stepped up.
They have the last, even before that, though, even in the NC State Day game, they did some things. The last 6-7 weeks of the season, the way we practice, I said I've seen it in practice, and they're carrying it to the field. Everybody's healthy. We're setting edges on the defense. Safeties are making the calls, getting the rotations. The ends are playing it, and then we're playing Noddy and Christmas and Fred Jones and Wally and all those guys inside. And our backers are fitting better. They're filling downhill. We're just now really hitting our stride.
So the throw that Deondre made to Travis in the third quarter was 10-6 at that point. Third down.
And after he just had a big interception on a third down, I told him it's going to be a big play. And I said, you're going to have a heck of a chance. We had it open earlier, and he that's one of the ones he went backside on and tried to throw to Kermit, and he shouldn't have. He should have stayed on the front side. And I said it's going to have a chance to be there. And he said, okay, I'll try. I mean, that's the thing about him. I mean, trust what we say, and then when you're out of what, just go back to fundamentals. And man, I mean, he stuck up and he stuck that thing. And it takes time. That was good protection, but man, hit it right in stride. Travis ran through the catch and came out for a touchdown. Now, that was about as good as it gets.
You talk about the offensive line and the protection and.
They were outstanding. They were the way we ran the football, the protection they gave. Offensive line is getting better and better and better.
Did they have a penalty today?
I'm sorry?
I don't think the offensive line even had a penalty, Coach, today. I think it's the first time.
No, you're right. We had a couple we had that bubble screen out there and had it down the sideline. And I couldn't see that, and had a couple penalties there on some things that, man, oh man, we could have really been in good shape.
Coach, teams are always hyped for big rivalry games, but why do you think your team has been so consistent against Miami and Florida?
Well, I mean, we emphasize it, but we don't overemphasize it. I mean, everybody wants to win, and you got our guys do a great job of preparing to win, and I think that's the key. I mean, we hype it, and it's important, but at the end of the day, it's still one game, and our guys understand they want to play, and we got good players, and they're practicing well, and they've just learned to control their emotions at the same time, have enough emotion to control it and be able to execute. They've been very blessed.
How important has it been to just close out this season as strong as you guys?
That's why I remember November, and the way we finished this season, the way this team's right now, we're as hot as it. I mean, we're hot. We got a good team, and we're a good football team right now. We're learning to be a good football team in all the phases, and we stand. The funny thing, still got a lot of room for improvement.
Jimbo, was the big hit. You guys could finish in a New Year's Six Bowl with Louisville's loss?
Yeah, I mean, somebody said that. I had no idea. I mean, we're just trying to win a game. That'd be wonderful. And keep our. I mean, because we've been in New Year's Day 6 since 12. We got us and Alabama's only two got that streak. I believe been in the playoffs and won national championships and been New Year's Day bowls. It'd be wonderful.
Remember the big hit by Josh Sweat early in the game, forcing the fumble?
Oh man, it did. Our guys getting the pressure and just stripping and knocking balls out and then capitalizing on turnovers. And our defense, when we give up one, they did a great job of stopping. I mean, except for they couldn't on the 13 points, but our defense is outstanding that way, and the offense took advantage of the things. See, that's what I'm saying. We're learning to play as a team before we play in segments. You know what I'm saying? And it's part of you feed off the energy of the other side of the ball. When one goes down, the other picks it up. When the other creates a play, you push that momentum, and that's part of learning to play too, and how to seize the moment. You know what I'm saying? And there's, like I say, there's a certain time I don't know, as a player and as a coach, you just got to boom. It's just got to be done, and that's what they're learning, and that's what's got me excited.
Jimbo, the LSU rumors kind of subsided this week. What kind of ultimately led to you wanting to?
I love Florida State. I always wanted to be at Florida State. I told them a long time ago I was going to be at Florida State. I love being here. I love what we're building. I think we can build things for a long time and have a great legacy here as far as being able to keep the culture that Coach Bowden and everyone else put in place. And we got great young players, and I love the hell out of them.
How much did you get asked by players or recruits about all the rumors going on?
Players, not one time.
Really?
Because you know why? I'm straight honest with them. They can read my body language. They can read me. And if they ask, I tell them. And they know there's a trust factor. And I trust them, and hopefully they trust me.
Yearly rumors, Jimbo, wear on you any? Because just about your future.
I learned to ignore all of it. I mean, Well, I mean, how does it wear on you? I mean, just you ignore it and move on. And as I say, you handle it. I say ignore it. You handle it and you see what's if something needs to be handled and you address it. But at the end of the day, when you have success, you watch Coach Bowden's movie. Anybody seen that yet? We watched it the other night. Man, you talk about a great movie. And he said, for the first 10 years he was here, he said, my name was up for every job in the book. Every job kept coming up, and people, he was going to go to LSU, if you remember. He was going to Alabama. He was going to Auburn. He was going to everywhere. If you're successful, and I'm not trying to, I mean, people always are going to do that. I mean, that's part of being. I'd rather be talked about than not talked about. That means we're doing something not for me. I'm saying we'd rather be successful here. When you're successful, people do that. I mean, Nick, when I was at LSU, Coach Saban had it every year. Every year I was ever around him, he was going to 32 different jobs. I mean, he made me look like me times 10 as far as jobs and things. But we were having success. People kept saying, "Well, you want to come?" And he made he did the things he wanted to do. I'm happy. I'm doing exactly what I want to do.
On that note, how excited are you about next season based on what you guys have done this year?
I am. We can keep doing the same thing. And again, it's hard to carry momentum, but you got to understand. To me, it's the understanding of what you do and how to do it. And I think we got a bright future. I really do. I'm anxious for the bowl season. I want to finish this season off the right way.
Jimbo, when did you kind of see this group turn that corner where you started seeing?
I told you about 6-7 weeks ago in practice. Even before it wasn't quite hitting the field at the levels it needed to, but it was on the practice field. And I know it's part of the process of it's got to get there, and then they got to learn to translate it from there to here and start fast and do all that. I really saw it 6 or 7 weeks ago.
You see it every day. Was there ever concern that would it get to that point? Or
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, even when we were winning 29 in a row, the lines of winning are that thin. When you were losing, like we lost those couple games, the lines of winning are that thin. You're always walking that tightrope. You're never comfortable, winning or losing, because you know how hard it is to win and how easy it is to get on the other end of it. And what you can't accept is the mentality of it, which creates a culture. There's going to be bad things, but if you never accept it here, it never gets in your culture. And that's why I'm so proud of this team. They never let it get in their culture, and they kept going back. And that's the key to the whole thing. It's culture, and that's why I was so proud of this football team, the leadership of it, and the young guys buying in and not, and say, okay, I need to go higher with my game. I need to raise myself, and that's what. But that line, I fear it every day, because winning and losing it's that thin. It's that thin. That's just facts of life.
Two more. What have the last few weeks meant to Charles Kelly? Because I know early in the season there were some rough patches, and the defense is, like you said, it's gotten better.
Guy can coach football. Guy's a good coach. He knows how to coach. He had injuries. We had situations. It was a perfect storm in a lot of areas. But again, high character, high quality person, believes in what he's doing, been in the business a long time. Father was a coach. Everybody's a coach. Can get it done.
Going back to what you're saying about the progress this team has made, how would you assess the way Deondre has been this year? Because I guess he didn't pick tonight, but he's over 3,000 yards for the season. And
he was awesome tonight. He was as awesome tonight as any game he goes and throws for 400 yards, because I see things differently. I see development things. This is one of the first times a couple times the game got going too fast. He made some mistakes. He did this, he did that, and all of a sudden, boom, he was able to trigger back. Again, you don't have any idea how hard that is, especially a quarterback. It's unbelievably hard for him to do that. He took another huge step today. I mean, huge step in his development. He's been rock solid, and I can't ask for any more out of him.
Coach, going along with that last touchdown that he scored, the raw emotion coming out of him, did he say anything to you, or did you say anything to him after that touchdown?
Yeah, we just looked at each other, been there and done, and understood it. That's just part of it. Is. I mean, I knew what he was fighting through because I know how much he cares. You don't have to say anything. Yeah. I'm good. You good? Thank you.
Coach.
Like our videos? Then you'll love being a premium member of Warchant.com with exclusive access to breaking news, insight, and analysis from the best on the beat. Enter the promo code WARCHANT30 on our sign-up page and get exclusive premium access for free for the next 30 days. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.